Let's rank some NFL retro logos. Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and it's 2023, but the NFL has decided multiple times this season to bring back the retro look for some of these NFL teams, and that gave me the idea, why don't we take a look at some of the retro logos and rank them? So here are the logos I'm going to be ranking. Now I will scroll down and show you that this is including the new current updated logos and the retro logos. However, I am just going to be looking only at the ones pictured right here with the retro logos, and I'm going to be ranking them based on these categories. The top category is much better than the current logo. The second category is slightly better than the current logo. Then we have the same, slightly worse, and much worse. And we will start with the Cardinals, which, you know, for all intents and purposes, that is the same logo in my opinion. It looks like the same. Obviously, it's been cleaned up. It's been crisped up a little bit if you look at this one down here. But let's be honest, this is the same bird. We're not off to an exciting start. The Panthers is also the same if you look at the logo right down here. I mean, it's almost identical. I would say that the new one is more ferocious, but are Panthers really that ferocious? When have you ever been in a standoff with a panther and he got feisty? It's the same. Now, the Ravens is interesting. I did not know this was ever a Ravens logo, and I would say this one is slightly better than their current logo of this. You know, it does have more of the Baltimore feel with a B on it here, but this one, I don't know. It's just speaking to me a little more. So we'll say this is a slightly better logo. Looking at this old Bears logo, I'm going to say it's slightly worse only because I think the emphasis is on the football more than it is on the bear. And this right here and this right here are classic. Okay, the Bears are one of the more classic franchises in the NFL, and I just think this iconography is more recognizable and it speaks more volumes than this. I miss this bangle. I think this actual true bangle is much better than their current striped B. You don't need the letter B for bangle. It's just like, this is too simple. It's too vanilla. I loved, Carson Palmer, TJ Houshmandzadeh, Chad Ochocinco Johnson when they had this logo on their helmet, on their jerseys. Let's bring back the real bangle. What's a brown? I mean, seriously, what if you show me this logo and said, what football team is this? If I'm an alien from another planet and I came in, I would say this is the Orange Goblin Hobbits. The Orange Goblin Hobbits. I don't think this logo right here is good. It's actually pathetic. But we need to start identifying what a brown really is. And I don't know if it's this. This is much worse. This Cowboys logo has not changed, and probably for good reason. Another very recognizable franchise. It's the same. Why does a Bronco need a sword? Has anyone ever figured out, it's not a sword. He's literally blowing steam out his nose. I always thought that was a sword until just now. You have got to be kidding me. Why does a Bronco need to be blowing steam out of his nose? I think this is slightly worse. I like this current logo. I didn't know this was a logo, and I also didn't know this was. What is this? Like, this is a contortionist. This is a yoga. This is the Denver yoga horses. Okay, this logo is slightly worse. This is the Detroit Lions according to a fifth grader. This drawing is horrible. This is much, much worse than their current logo. I also did not know this at one time was the Packers logo. It's a football with the state of Wisconsin on top of it with Bart Starr probably on the state of Wisconsin. This is much worse to me. Again, the Packers, a classic franchise. We need to keep this logo, and I would imagine they keep this logo forever. I think this Falcons logo is associated with some of the legends for the Falcons, but this one right here, it feels like they've made a new name for themselves with this. I wish there was some red featured in this logo. I would say this logo is slightly worse than the current edition. This Houston logo is also one that I do not recognize and quite frankly have never seen. Houston Texans, I would assume. it's looking pudgy. It's like a pudgy little Texas. Is Texas one of the more obese states in the United States? I think they are. Maybe they were trying to say something with this logo. It's too much going on. It's too wide. Actually, I think this is much worse. This is not working for them. I'm trying to decide if this Colts logo down here is like the new version. If it is, I kind of like it with the Indiana here and the cutout of the C. Maybe they're going to do away with this classic horseshoe and go to this. It kind of also looks like a horseshoe if you turn your head. I don't know. I really like this new logo, but we're going to put this in the same because it's the same. This Jaguar, it's just so, it looks more cuddly. I don't know. I'm going to put it next to this Panther. All right. There's something about these retro logos looking less ferocious. We've tried to make them look more aggressive as years have gone on. It's just so round. I mean, I see this and I immediately think of Maurice Jones-Drew. He's a guy that I think made the Jaguars, put them on the map a little bit, at least in my era. But taking a look at you know what? Actually, when you look at this one and then you compare it to this one is slightly worse. It is. It's too round. The Chiefs logo is the same. The Chargers logo is also the same. However, you'll notice that the powder blue here is new, whereas they had more of a sky blue here. I like the sky blue and the navy a little more than I like the powder blue and the white. So I do think this is slightly better in terms of color scheme, but as for logo, we're just going to keep it in the same. Quick shout out to the Super Retro Rams logos, this one and this one. I don't care for either of those. This is the one I grew up on when they were still in St. Louis. And call me wild, call me crazy, I think this is slightly better than this new logo. I don't love the LA with the swoosh. If you showed this to someone who was not familiar with the team, they would not be able to tell you probably that is a Rams horn looping around. Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk all wore this logo. I think this is a slightly better logo. I don't think there's any question right now. This is a much better logo for the Miami Dolphins. It's a little more simple. It's got the helmet on. This one, it doesn't say foot. I mean, it's not football related. I don't like how it's curved like that. They're doing too much here. Let's bring back this old Miami Dolphins logo. I don't love this tier list because I don't think the Vikings options are that good. This is definitely the same logo. Is this a new one they're trying for right down here? I think it must be, but as far as this one goes, it's the same. This is going to be met with a lot of criticism, and I think people are going to have strong opinions because this is a classic Patriots logo, but I think the Patriots really got their name when Tom Brady and Bill Belichick arrived and made a name for this city and for this team. So as crazy as it sounds, I think this logo, although it is iconic in its own way, it is slightly worse than their current logo. I'm okay with this. I like this. This Saints logo is the same. This Giants logo is the same. Now, this Jets logo is, in my opinion, much better. I know this is simple, and I think we could find a mix between some more modern look, but also incorporate the Jet. I mean, what is this right here? The New York Jets. Nothing at all about this is giving Jets. So even this one is better than this one. I think this is a bad logo for this team. So let's say bring back the actual airplane for the New York Jets. I also think this Eagles one is slightly better than the current Eagles one. I know that this Eagles has been around for a long time, and I grew up with Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens and Brian Westbrook, and they all wore this, but I don't love this one so much, but I do really, I think this logo is just slightly better for the Eagles, so I say bring this one back as well. This Steelers logo is one that I'm not familiar with, and this looks like a fellow who's trying to get some workman's comp. This looks like an OSHA violation, ladies and gentlemen. I do not like this. It's not promoting good work safety. This logo is much worse for the Steelers. I also did not know that this was a 49ers logo. I don't even know what's happening here. It looks like a bandit who's shooting a gun between his crotch. Almost looks like he's tooting. This is the San Francisco Tootie Boys, the San Francisco Tooters. This logo is much worse. I think the Seahawks logo has changed enough that I can't say it's the same, although it is modeled so similarly. I do think it's slightly worse, though. Yeah, it's kind of silly. I think a lot of people will like this Buccaneers logo. I don't. It's too handsome. It's too edgy. It's too cologne brand. I don't know. I think it's slightly worse. I'm okay with this flag in this classic skull and crossbones look. Again, there's nothing football about this. This is a worse logo, although I think people are going to disagree with me. I'm a big fan of the Tennessee Titans with the sword. In fact, I am a much bigger fan than their current logo with whatever this is. Like, what is this? Like a shield on fire? I don't know what this is. Like, I think maybe the sword is in here a little bit. It's too hard to tell. This was the right logo for this team. This was a much better logo for the Tennessee Titans. This Bills logo is very similar to what we have now, but this is a really good logo. This current logo is really good for the Buffalo Bills, so I'm going to put this in, I'm going to put it in much worse. I don't care for it at all. And the last one is a little bit unfair to rank because we had a complete team change. They are no longer the Redskins, they are the Commanders. But as far as this logo goes compared to their current logo, which is not even Commander related at all, it's just a W, this was a much better logo because it actually signified much better logo because it actually signified what the team's mascot was. So I would say Washington needs an upgrade from this W to something that actually looks like a Commander. So this is all we have to rank. I will go ahead and say that I think my favorite logo of all time on this list has got to be this classic Miami Dolphin, followed closely here by the Titans. I don't know why. I like this logo for some reason. And as far as the worst logo goes, this Steelers one and this Houston one are they're all the worst. All of these down here are the worst. What is this lion? What is his tail? Why is it wrapped around? Oh my gosh, it's like he's trying to give himself a back rub with his own tail. I'm glad all of these teams have changed. Maybe it's time for some of these guys to upgrade a little bit and change their logos, branch out, and take a swing at something new. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite and least favorite. Happy to hear, happy to share with you guys today. As always, welcome to the Green Means Go channel if it's your first time. We're glad that you stopped by, and we will see you on our next video. Take care, and subscribe. Can I ask people to subscribe? Subscribe, baby.